month is, or we get nothing. We're at the end of the line, and we're not the creditor that gets. There's nothing left when it comes to so. I think our program has been pretty fair, you know, and so I
would agree that we only have 4 people out of the whole community. We're doing a good job, or the residents are doing a good job of keeping their properties, or we're reaching out to them when there is an issue and they're correcting it.
Because we send out before we cut the grass, we send out violations. You know, we send out our violations.
You have to notify them, by either posting it or sending them a letter. If they send it certified or not.
And we follow with the county. Yep.
She actually said Lisa handles that most of the time. So.
Comes out of the building department between Robin and Lisa. She handles the clerical end of that. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
The assessment, okay. And I'll get a little more detail on that. Yeah, because I know we have something in place that we don't. It's how many times we notify them on our own before we go and cut the grass. Because we'd rather have them cut the grass themselves or pay somebody. Because we're a lot more expensive. I mean, they can get a landscaper for a lot, even the highest price, a lot cheaper than what we charge them. We charge them quite a bit. I think it's either double or 3 times what a regular person cutting the grass. So we're not a grass cutting service. So we're not going there where somebody says, "Oh, I might as well just have the village do it." They're the same price as me getting somebody else. We charge them, and we charge them good.
Punitive
To discourage that. We don't have the manpower to be cutting grass for our residents. So.
And actually, our Sharpscape has a very reasonable price for people.
Yeah, you're right.
The finances are an issue.
They're a lot cheaper than what we charge. Well, you can see with the prices here. So, all right. Any questions with the committee of the whole meeting?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to introduce at this council meeting resolution 2021-18, the road program.
Okay. Well, we can go through them all. Who would like to do the first one, number 8, ordinance 2021-14, property assessments? Are we good?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, Roosevelt.
We're on line now?
Good, we can ask, well, they'll be able to see too. Residents, it's 7:35. We've just been informed we are live. We are all here. We did start the meeting. We wanted to kind of get the meeting on time. We did wait till 7:15. We'll hopefully be able to post the whole meeting. We also do record it here in Village Hall. So, okay. What we have on the agenda, I'll just kind of go through it real quick for some residents. We have our ordinance 2021-14, that was property assessments, something we have to do every year with the county on the taxes. One is for our trash removal from each resident. Also delinquent people who don't cut their grass. Other property maintenance things where we go in with our service department and we do it ourselves. We bill that homeowner, property owner. That is that ordinance. Who would like to introduce that?
I will.
Okay. Brenner Miller. For suspension. These would all be for suspension. We did talk about quite a few of these before we went to recess, and then also last Tuesday in our COW meeting. Okay. Item B, the resolution 2021-16, the OPWC grant for the road program, and that is to apply for a grant and for for Alexander Road between Dunham and Walton. And that's from the Ohio Public Works Commission. That's what we're applying for the grant. That's just giving the mayor permission. That's the legislation to apply for the grant. Okay, who would like to introduce that?
I would.
Mr. Whedon. That's for suspension, Raymond. Okay, item C, resolution 2021-17, that's the tax levies. Another housekeeping item, we just have to let the county know that our millage, what our millage is, and it stayed the same, our inside millage.
I can do that, Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Spitznagel, that's for suspension. And item D, resolution 2021-18, that's the road program. Went through the road committee and through council. We talked quite a bit about this. We talked about it even during budget time. We're all aware that our secondary roads need repairs, and we're still trying to stay within budget. I know we're talking about maybe next year, depending how things go. Might even have to bond some out. We know we got to keep moving in the road committee and council. We'll be looking at that, but we wanted to get some areas that definitely needed repair, so we've allocated, we're going to spend about $120,000. Jennifer, you're going to introduce that for suspension. Okay. Any other business? Okay. Can I ask for adjournment of the COW?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask for adjournment for the COW meeting of Tuesday, September 14th, 2021.
Second. Vote on the motion. Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller?
Yes.
Jennifer Allen?
Yes.
Oh,
I have a question to ask. Can we wait for the council meeting next?
yeah, Jeff, yeah. Gloria Tolowski?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Mr. Whedon, yes? Mr. Spitznagel?
Yes.
Okay. 6 yeses, meeting adjourned at 7:40.
Anybody else want to water anything before we start? Or
Anybody got to go to the restroom or whatever? Do you, John? Because otherwise we're going to start right away.
I was gonna maybe get a
I
water.
don't know.
Okay. All right.
Sir, be careful, they're going to assess that to your taxes.
Are they cold enough? Because there's some downstairs if they're...
That's fine.
All right. I used to work with a guy, and he never drank anything cold. And he said to me, he said, Don, you're not supposed to. He said, your body, every time it drinks something cold, he was a fitness person, and I mean, not, actually, and he was very good shape and very healthy for his age. Late 60s, didn't take even a blood pressure pill. He said, because every time you take something out, I don't know if this is true, I never looked at it, every time you take something cold, it shocks your body. And that's why animals don't drink nothing cold. They can drink warm water on a 100-degree day from a puddle.
Well, they can't make ice cubes either, though.
Yeah. But the point is, warm water, cold water, they both hydrate you. The temperature isn't what hydrates you. And then I told that to somebody, and they said, oh, that's kind of true, especially real cold stuff. You know, it's almost like getting the brain freeze. It's like, that's like shocking your body. Whether it was true or not, but a little tidbit. Something
No,
to look
I've
up.
read that. I've read
You
that.
might know, yeah.
I've
That's-
read that.
Never drank, everything he drank was room temperature, so.
I like it cold though.
Can't be me though, I got everything cold, so. I'm shocking my body every day, I guess.
That's why IV fluids feel cold. You know, if you're giving somebody
Yeah,
IV with
it does.
fluids,
Yeah.
it feels very cold because it's only room temperature, but body temperature is 98 degrees.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
warm.
So yeah, so it's actually cooler than.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yep.
Roosevelt, we good? All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular council meeting of the Village of Walton Hills, Tuesday, September 14th, 2021, at 7:42 p.m. Pledge allegiance. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to take a moment of silence for our recently deceased residents, Walter Balicki, Nicholas D'Amico, Jean Loretta, John Canzoni, and Mark Bonfiglio. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Persons having business before council. Jeff, if you wanted to.
Jeff Alexander, 7312 Walton Road. Back to the grass cutting conversations. When Mayor Tillman was in office, I think 25 years ago, he approached me and began talking about cutting the residents' grass because she refused to have it cut. And at that time, he said they didn't want to take her to Crawford Heights Court. And I said, why can't the village do it? He says, well, we can't because we're not a city. The village can't cut it. I was wondering, did that change? And if we have these problems, maybe we can get some volunteers to help a resident that is in need of it rather than send it to the department. Because it's just a thought,
Right. I don't know if it's changed. I know we're legally allowed to do it because we've been doing it quite a few years now.
That was many years ago.
Yeah, Jeff, so it definitely must be legal, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do it unless you have a comment. I couldn't tell you when it changed or anything. We've been doing it, and I've been, in this room a long time, and we've been doing it ever since I can remember.
quite a while.
Yeah. But,
And then, number two, when the rubbish haulers suggested we use the cans, it was for efficiency, and I think it was factored in with the cost of labor, and so many people don't use them. There'll be 5 little giant eagle bags out there, the guy has to get out of his truck, especially in wintertime, and pick them up out of the snow, because one resident told me, I'm not using them, I don't pay for them. But everybody has to pay, don't they?
correct, yes.
So that's like throwing $14 out of the window in my book, Then I think maybe we could put something in the Holler newsletter that try to encourage the residents to use them, because you get out of that truck, 20 extra times, it's a lot to do for a driver. And people say, well, they're getting paid for it, let them earn that $14 a month. That's just, that's all.
Now, we can, certainly, we've been looking for little snippets to put in the journal,
Yeah.
That are kind of subtle, and we've done quite a few with the picking up the dog, poop, some other different things, just being respectful, so I don't see no problem in something like that in there either.
And I wanted to rent Young Park for my granddaughter's birthday party in a couple of weeks. And we were told that we don't have to rent it now, it's not rented after Labor Day, but the bathrooms are locked. So it's still good weather. I know the water isn't shut off yet, and you want to encourage people to use the park, where you can't have 3 and 5-year-olds that are out of bathroom. And I was wondering if, I'm not asking just for me,
Right.
to get the key to open it, but if that could be changed until the weather changes for the water. I know, I'm sure they shut the water off.
Yeah, that's what they winterize it. There's no, as you know, there's
Yeah.
no heat or anything in there.
Well, we were told we could use
So-
it, but without the bathrooms.
Right.
So, and
Yeah,
then, on the fourth thing, the snack the building we have there, is that ever used by baseball games or anything? Snack bar, whatever you want to call it, concession stand?
Well, what's changed is normally, yes, we would have even our thing. What has changed is some of the regulations because of COVID-19.
I mean, has it been used in other?
I don't think it's been used in
I think
the 18 months since COVID.
Uh-huh.
He's had some tournaments up there, usually Players Eye, who rents our fields, who has the sporting complex in Walton Hills on Northfield Road, usually has big tournaments and they sell things, but because of the restrictions, it's just like we're having a food truck Sunday at our Family Fest, because now even to sell packaged food, you need a permit from the Board of Health. So there's things that have changed. So that's just discouraging that. I mean, we want it to be open, Jeff, it's just been
No, I was just
that.
curious.
Yeah,
So
no.
when it does-
We all know that park's, one thing we can say, that park is so underused. It's,
Right.
I walk the track a lot, me and Marion, and to go up there and there's no one playing baseball and stuff. And thing is, it's not an uncommon practice in a lot of the communities like ours. We go to the Valley Woods too, and we see the same thing. And a lot of it has been COVID, so we're hoping.
So when they have these tournaments, does the village get a revenue from that?
If we sell it, yes.
No,
You
I
know,
mean, to use the.
If well, usually a lot of
facility.
times we sell it. We'll have our counselors sell ice cream bars and things like that.
But
So
we
then
get a-
they wouldn't get any of it. We would get it all.
We get a fee for using the grounds.
Yes, we have a contract with them.
And has it ever been explored to maybe have like a craft show or something that the village would initiate to get vendors to come in there and generate a little money for the village that way? I mean, I was in part of the car show 2 weeks ago, and we ended up having like 29 vendors at the lake, and they all said they fared well with it.
Good.
And they also asked about, some who were local, they knew about the young park. And I just thought,
Yeah.
I thought if there's something out there, we could maybe utilize it better.
Jeff, I've worked in that concession stand more than once for Women's Club, so it was definitely used. It was just that once COVID came and there's no more community day and all that, and now with what goes on up there with baseball, I don't really know, but yeah, it was used. We were always
What
in
kind
there.
of equipment is in there? Is there food prep, stoves and refrigerators?
I don't believe there's a stove, there's microwaves, there's a refrigerator, and, we would bring, like roasters with food, and we had the big crock pot with the nachos and cheese, and there was a hot dog thing in there, and
Like a rotisserie.
a rotisserie. I
There's
forgot all.
equipment. Yeah, that's good.
It was well used. We had the Board of Health come. I mean, they checked us all out and all, so it was used. It's just that this world's been kind of upside down for a while now, so.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Jeff.
I just have to say, when the Board of Health came and he looked at the nachos, he goes, "These things can go nuclear. I'm not even worried about it." He said, "This stuff never dies," so he didn't worry about the nachos. So it's always good to know that's what you're eating.
Any other comments from any residents? Roosevelt, do we have any comments on the internet? Any residents, if you want to post anything, you can post it during the meeting or at this time. And if you guys have any other questions, if something comes, you can post. Anything, Roosevelt? No? Okay, very good. Can you see how many people are on? Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I don't know how much of a technicality this needs to be, but you didn't do roll call for the regular council meeting
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
for right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I did.
yeah, he
I
did.
thought that was for the COW.
It was a COW, yeah, it wasn't after the
Oh.
moment of
No, I
silence.
thought he did.
Well, we did.
We did the flag.
Right.
Another
I
vote of
don't know.
silence.
Well, I probably did. We can do roll call. No big deal. Thank you. Good for the
We're all
record.
just saying, no, I know we're all here. We were there for the special council. That's why I said I don't know how much of a technicality that it needs to be done, but
I remember, and I was,
Well, you know, I am approaching my 36th birthday. Maybe that's it.
What's the multiple on it?
Don't be laughing there, Jeff. It's 36, okay? Even though some of us have had birthdays, okay? I said I forgot because I'm approaching my 36th birthday.
Your nose is growing.
Okay, we'll do roll call. Mr. Linville?
Present.
Present. Mary Brenner Miller?
here.
Jennifer Allen?
here.
Gloria Chalowski?
Here.
Raymond Whedon? Here. And Brian Spitznagel?
Here.
All council present, along with our law solicitor, John Montello. Okay, we did persons having business. I have a couple mayor's reports here. Here they are. We have two of them because we have July and August. So we'll start with the July. The July Mayor's Court was $28,886.81. Year-to-date, we're at $153,351.93. And we are up. Last year-to-date was $111,825.08. So we are up. That was the July court revenue report, and now I do have this is for the month of July. The Walton Hills Police Department issued 225 citations in the month of July. The predominant violation was expired plates with 81 citations, followed by 25 written for speed and 20 citations for driving under suspension. There was one arrest for driving while under the influence of alcohol and drugs. We'd like to see 0, but 1 is better than some other months we've had. Okay, this would be the August Mayor's Court report. Total revenue, $27,815.33. Year-to-date, $181,167.26. Last year-to-date was $127,633.06. So we are up from last year. Okay, police report. The Walton Hills Police Department issued 250 citations for the month of August. The predominant violation was expired plates with 78 citations, followed by 22 written for speed. Wait a minute. 22 written for speed and 22 citations for driving under suspension, both the same. There were 5 arrests for driving while under the influence of alcohol and drugs. That's the number you don't like to see. Don't like to see any of them, but that's the scary number there. Okay, that concludes my mayor's report. Any council comments before we move on to the legislation? Okay, any comments from the residents before we move on to the...
He's got a comment.
Yes, Rosebell. Oh, good. Okay. Any comments from the residents watching us tonight, watching the COW meeting, which concluded, and the council meeting? Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to the legislation. Let me get my... There we go. Okay, item 8, first piece of legislation, item A. Ordinance 2021-14, property assessments. Mr. Whedon?
No, it's me. And then Ray does the OPWC grant.
Oh, oh, I do see, I got too much writing in there.
How old are you again?
36.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to introduce.
Uh-oh, my nose is gonna hit Fred or Dennis
Cover it
back
up.
there.
I'd like to introduce for suspension ordinance 2021-14, an ordinance authorizing and directing the fiscal officer to certify delinquent property maintenance charges, trash collection assessments, and culvert repair assessments to the county auditor for the collection and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Linville. Vote on the ordinance. Mr. Linville.
Yes.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon. Yes. Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask for adoption of ordinance 2021-14.
Second.
Second by Denny Linville. Vote on the adoption. Denny Linville.
Yes.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
And Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance passed 6-0 on suspension. Item B, Resolution 2021-16, OPWC grant for road program. Mr. Whedon.
Mayor Colgraf, members of council, I'd like to introduce for suspension resolution number 2021-16, a resolution authorizing the mayor to apply to the Ohio Public Works Commission for a potential grant and/or loan for the funding of capital infrastructure improvement projects in the village of Walton Hills and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Second by Denny Linville. Vote on suspension. Denny Linville.
Yes.
Mary
Yes.
Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Okay, suspension passed 6-0. Mr. Whedon.
Mayor Colgraf, members of council, I'd like to ask for a vote to authorize resolution number 2021-16.
Second.
Second by Denny Linville. Vote on approval. Mr. Linville.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2021-16, passed 6-0. Item C, resolution 2021-17, tax levies.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Spitznagel.
I'd like to ask for suspension of a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second? Second by Mary Brenner Miller on suspension. Denny Linville, vote on the suspension.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask for adoption of resolution number 2021-17.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mary Brenner Miller. Vote on the adoption. Denny Linville.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Begrudgingly, yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
And Brian Spitznagel.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2021-17, tax levies passed. 6-0. Item D, resolution 2021-18.
Mr. Mayor,
Jennifer Allen.
I'd like to ask for suspension of resolution number 2021-18, a resolution authorizing the mayor and the fiscal officer of the village of Walton Hills to enter into a contract with Specialized Construction Incorporated for the 2021 road repair program and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Second on the suspension by Mary Brenner Miller. Vote on the suspension. Denny Linville.
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
Gloria Talowski.
Yes.
Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
Brian Spitznagel. Okay. Suspension passed. Jen, do you have to do approval, or was that approval?
No, that was suspension. Mr. Mayor, I would like to ask for adoption of Resolution 2021-18, the road program with specialized construction.
Is there a second up for the
Second.
Second by Brian Spitzenagel. Vote on adoption. Denny Linville,
Yes.
Mary Brenner Miller,
Yes.
Jennifer Allen,
Yes.
Gloria Tulowski,
Yes.
Raymond Whedon. Yes. And Brian Spitzenagel.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2021-18 passed 6-0. Thank you, everybody. We got item 5, any other business, new business, old business? Anybody like to mention anything? I have a few things, but if anybody wants to go first, or I'll go, and then if anybody wants to go. Tomorrow we do have morning meeting with the mayor, 9 to 11 at the event center. Hopefully everybody can be there that can make it. That'd be great. We do have Family Fun Day this Sunday, September 19th, noon to 4 p.m. It's at T.G. Young Park. There's kids' crafts, games, inflatables, magic show, hayride, music, and a food truck. The menu for the food truck is on our webpage and our Facebook page. And pretty sure it's the same band that was there last year for the Family Fun Day, like a top 40 band. The hayride is just a hayride around the park. It is not the substitution for our Halloween hayride. It's just another hayride we added just kind of because we're kind of going to live in the moment. Last year we didn't have some of our indoor activities, and so we're going to try to offer some things, and then if, if we have more, that's good. Like Mr. Alexander is saying, we do, we're not underutilizing some things, so it's just another good day. It looks like the weather's going to be nice, so hopefully everybody can make that. As you know, the air conditioning's not working in this room, and the office is there. We do have air conditioning in some of our critical spaces, which is the police department, dispatch, and for the fire EMS workers that are here, they all have air conditioning. We are hoping that it gets repaired. We were hoping it was going to be repaired this week, hopefully before court date. I did just shoot you guys the proposal you have there. That is for the supply fan of the air handler in this area of the building. That is all I have. Does anybody else have anything for old or new business before we adjourn? Okay, just we won't have, so this was our combination, we won't have a meeting, of course, next week. We were thinking about maybe having a planning commission meeting if certain things were submitted. They weren't submitted yet, so I don't have anything unless we do the other item that came from the building department for the windmills and the solar panels. I was kind of waiting. We were told by a resident they were submitting an application this week, so we were going to kind of combine the two. If that doesn't happen, then there is a conflict with our day, though. What's going on that day? Might be candidates night or something. I don't know. There's something going on, so we might have to change the day on that if we have it.
Candidates night is October 7th.
Yeah, I think that's our day. But we didn't set anything. That's just kind of our regular day for the planning commission if we were to have it. We need to have it for our legislation, but trying to combine it. Let's see. That's really all we have right now.
Mr. Mayor, just to put on everybody's view for the next meetings, of COW meetings and stuff, if we could discuss at the next COW meeting on October 5th, whether we will be having the COW meeting on election day, November 2nd or not.
No, we could talk about that time, but we normally don't have that. I think we all would like to be available that day or be out doing, I know we have, some of you guys are running and you want to be able to do your thing, and some of us just want to watch and see what's, watch TV and other things, so. But we can talk about that. I know I brought up to Angela about the report 52, want to do that. I also do want to, and I know Dennis, this is something you asked me about we are going to do an annual report, probably put it in the journal, with the status of everything, So me and Angela talked about that today and start working on that. So we definitely want to get it out before the year end, sooner than later. So, anything else I know everybody's saying be quiet, Mayor, let's get out of here, we're baking. Okay. Have a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment from the regular council meeting of Tuesday, September 14th, 2021.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mary Brenner Miller. That's what I forgot to say before. Vote on the motion. Councilman Linville.
Yes.
Councilman Mary Brenner Miller.
Yes.
Councilwoman, I apologize for that.
Oh.
Councilwoman Jennifer Allen.
Yes.
That's okay.
Councilwoman Gloria Terlowski.
Yes.
Councilman Raymond Whedon.
Yes.
And Councilman Brian Spitzman.
Yes.
Okay. Meeting adjourned at 8:09. When I was doing the voting, I think I'm forgetting something, and that's what it was. It doesn't sound the same.
What?
I think the clerk of council usually just says Councilman Whedon or
Right.
Councilman Spitz. I was
Right.
using your, but it didn't sound right, so I thought, I'm doing something wrong here. Not that it matters. Okay, there we go. Thank you, everybody.
Exemplary.
Hopefully see everybody either tomorrow or Sunday. Come out Sunday if it's nice. I think it's going to be a really nice event.
Bathrooms be open?
What's that?
Bathrooms be open?
They'll be open, Jeff.
For old people?
Yeah, believe me, I know that feeling. I can't, used to be as a young person, you didn't have to stop every 5 minutes. Now I got to stop all the time. Thank you, everybody.
I saw your dog walking around the yard, Benny. I saw your dog walking around the yard this afternoon. What a beautiful dog that is. Oh, geez.
Yeah, you too, Mary. Oh, it is warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big teddy bear, probably. Big teddy bear, huh? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. You can tell. You can tell, yeah. They say you can tell, it's just got great ears.